What's going on, everyone? I'm not sure what's going on with the screen. Just real quick, it is 7:04, and that is Emily over there walking to work. She gets here every day before pretty much everyone. 7:07. She doesn't technically start until 8. I think that just goes to show you get the right people on the bus and actually make the job fun. And it doesn't feel like work. You're not driving, hating your life every single day, wishing you were somewhere else. Today, I'm talking a little bit about partnerships. Now, I believe partnerships are great. Actually, when I first got started, I only bought and actually only still own a few houses, completely by myself that I didn't bring partners in on. And of course, the reason being is there's some things in real estate that I really don't enjoy. Like, I really like the financial aspect. I really like the numbers. I really like raising investor money. I really like talking to banks and putting together proposals. I can't stand walkthroughs. I really don't like renovations. And so I've always partnered with people who enjoy that aspect, who love driving around, who love, going to the job site. I really don't like that. And, I think that's really important, because whenever you partner, as long as you're doing it correctly, you're partnering with somebody who, of course, and this is kind of dumb, I feel, a little dumb for even saying it, but of course, partnering with somebody who's, your strengths are their weaknesses, or vice versa. And what that kind of results in, you're able to wear less hats. You're not having to be the entire team, which allows you to get really good within your lane, which I think a lot of people overlook. And maybe it's funner to wear all the hats, it's funner to run around, and because it feels like less of a job. Whenever you're just doing one thing all day, every day, it does feel like more of a job. But I'll say the results you're gonna get are 10x. I mean, I've said before on here, and I firmly believe it, that there's a few things that you can actually do to increase your productivity. Focus is the number one. Like, if you're getting there early, if you're putting in the time, if you're spending time on your education, eating healthy, working out, like, those things are all going to help. But at the end of the day, if you're more focused than somebody else, like if you're doing one thing and somebody else is doing 10, I mean, even if you're working a half day, you're going to get more done than that person. So focus is like the number one, I guess, proponent of a partnership, and the number one reason that I like partnerships. Now, but before you just partner with anybody, because I still partner with people who bring me deals, but you got to be careful. There's a few things that you want to look out for before you just partner, and you need to kind of look at it as if you're a bank before you just partner with somebody. Just because somebody brings you a good deal does not mean that you want that deal or you want to be their partner. It could be the worst thing you've ever done, even if it makes sense on paper. So here's the things that I look at before I partner with somebody. And honestly, if someone isn't willing to sit down and have this conversation with you and show their numbers to you, show their personal financial statement to you, show their cash reserves to you, I mean, isn't that already a bad sign? I wouldn't partner with that person. So I want to see their cash reserves. Just open up your bank account, show me what you got. How many contingent liabilities do you have? And what that means is, how many different LLCs do you have with other partners that are possibly going to pull you in different directions if that partnership goes bad? For example, if you're looking at partnering with somebody and they've got 10 other partnerships with 10 other people, and they've got 10 other renovations going on at the same time with 10 different partnerships, like, is that really another partnership that you want to enter? Probably not. I mean, maybe if they've got a ton of experience and that's all they do is the renovation side, and that's kind of their niche, is partnering with people who bring deals and they just do the renovation, maybe, but still, I mean, that's kind of the story that you have to unfold. And a bank's going to look at your contingent liabilities and cash reserves as well. So shouldn't you, before you partner with somebody? Also, you're going to want to look at their DSCR, so their debt service coverage ratio. Like, how profitable are their deals that they've done in the past? I mean, are they actually making money? There's a lot of real estate investors who are just breaking even. Like, a lot of real estate investors who really don't know how to run their numbers properly and are just breaking even. Again, is that someone that you really want to be a partner with? It's cool that they have that new fancy car, but I mean, do you have the $600, $700, $800 a month payment? Now you have to, account for that out of the cash that they're going to have if something were to go wrong with your venture that you start. And lastly, you got to look at their time commitment. and their realistic time commitment. I mean, so all my partners, when I partner with them, you know, they may have been in a relationship, but they had the time, they weren't married, and they still don't have kids. It's something to really consider, and also having an honest conversation of, you know, once a quarter of how much do we actually want to work here? You know, how much time is actually reasonable for all of us to put into this without working ourselves to death? And that's a lot easier to say than to do. I mean, you look at somebody's cash reserves and that's, you know, pretty black and white. I mean, they either have money or they don't. But as far as like time commitment, everyone's going to say they have more time than they do. So, you know, just realize that people are probably exaggerating. People always want to people please. No one wants to say that, oh God, I'm stretched really thin, I really shouldn't do this right now. But honestly, a lot of times that's the right answer. And the last thing, which at the beginning I guess is less important if you're just doing one-off deals, but eventually becomes important, is your long-term goals. If you're getting started, you know, and someone has a good deal and they check all these boxes I just mentioned, yeah, you know, there shouldn't be a problem there. Of course, something I didn't mention in the comments, you know, check OSCN. I know that may be a little overkill, but you never know. You never know what you're going to find. But look at their long-term goals. If this is at the beginning and it's just going to be one house and that's the only thing you guys are going to do in the partnership, that's probably okay at the beginning, but eventually that'll start creating a lot of issues for you at banks the bigger and bigger you get. Banks are going to look at and see that you have 20 different partnerships and there's only one house in each of them, and that's a huge red flag for them. Again, because of the contingent liabilities, if that's 20 different people that if something happens in their life, all of a sudden they need money from that partnership, and now you're scrambling around having to sell this house. Like it's not good to have that many bridges spanning out. So at the beginning, I mean, you can do that a little bit, but as you get bigger and bigger, you only really want to form partnerships with people that you're going to buy either really large assets with that, you know, can basically be their own LLC. You buy it and it can support that, and you brought investors in like an apartment building or a mobile home park. But you don't want to be just buying one-off houses with a bunch of random people, because eventually banks aren't going to want to lend to you. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Those are kind of what I look for. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll look forward to answering those. Again, I've been told a lot of times that kind of, you know, going through all this stuff is a little overkill, but you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, when you partner with somebody, you're kind of marrying them in a way. Like, so who do you want to be tied to and who do you want to be tied to long term? And you need to be really careful of that. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow for another video.